outscaled. Here they've got Slardar Void. Like, I feel like this is kind of somewhat epitome of late game. They're actually giving miCKe a hard carry to play off of rather than their usual shenanigans.
No, I absolutely agree. That's why I was saying, like, I feel like they're going back to their old forms of, like, all right, let's look for these big fights rather than this constant aggression and just having stable miCKe on, like, a jug or something like that. Seeing miCKe eats the whole tag team. It's a nice little time off to start off. So, I haven't been seeing too much of these double melee with the Darkseers. It's not been like doing badly. It's just it takes time to be able to build up that pressure. So, glad to see teams are still willing to go for it.
I'll see how they do and how much pressure they are able to put onto a Faceless Void with a Warlock behind. I feel like that's one of those combos that, like, it used to be Warlock Spectre, you know? That was a combo that's just like, okay, we will endure. But I have to imagine Faceless Void is going to be even harder to pressure.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the bans, because right, they picked Warlock and then Nigma picked Darkseer right after. So maybe they were going for, like, okay, if you go for the Spectre, you know, we're going to be able to have our own Spectre later on too and stuff like that. And Darkseer versus Spectre might not be that bad, but they actually go for Void instead, so some switch up perhaps.
I can tell you that Spectre was not banned.
Okay.
So it was still out there, but Nigma did opt to take the much faster rune. I'm super interested to see this Luna at work and whether or not we're going to see the shard pickup. Do you think that's legit?
I think with Grimstroke it is. Okay. You can get the double bounces in bottom. Speaking of the Luna.
Getting very low. iLTW. Be okay though.
Nope.
We have to mention the power of this lane, right? Snapfire, I know we've all been talking about how it's kind of been moving to that 5 position exclusively, but damn, with Slardar, this actually sounds like a pretty hot lane. Level 3 comes around, 100 bonus damage, -8 armor. They're gonna pack a punch onto this Luna, even if she is one of the higher armor heroes in the game early on.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier if she was a higher ranged hero, right? But the fact that she's got that short range means that at any point in time, she's within cookie hopping distance.
And we're seeing that effect already. Like, iLTW's only got 5 last hits right now, and the Slardar's already up to that 10. Taiga and Boxi doing a great job. Very comfortable. As we know, Boxi absolutely loves Slardar, even when it's not meta. He's been playing it. And I'm going to be continuing looking at mid. I think this is where it's going to start getting quite difficult for qojqva. He's going to have to spend a lot on regen. And this is where Miracle Pugna is able to start applying crazy amounts of pressure, really. And perhaps even stealing the bounty rune if he pushes it in, going to the opposing side.
Yeah, you could already see qojqva like ferrying in regen because he knows he's going to be pressured really heavily and he can't afford to just be backed out of the lane. Otherwise, he's going to lose his tower super early.
Oh, is Kuro's doing the move. So he's actually the one invading on the Grimstroke to try to steal this bounty rune away, or secure it at least with Miracle. Deny it from qojqva.
Oh, they're going to sandwich him maybe. qojqva, oh, he's going up that high ground. Now he's dead. He's dead, and he's not even going to get the bounty rune for these efforts. Great move from Kuro. And I'm sure qojqva is probably talking to his teammates going, guys, did you know he was missing? Did you know he wasn't in lane anymore? iNSaNiA, meanwhile, he's also going to go down. miCKe is going to try it and finally does manage to get the bash. He'll take off some of the damage that he received, so support's being traded out in the top lane.
Radiant's top tower.
That's huge. Right, the Luna's not farming great anyway. Kuro makes a heads-up move, shuts down qojqva, enables Miracle, and as you said, that's already a tough lane for qojqva. He's gonna start really falling behind. The tower pressure is gonna start coming out bottom.
Oh, still got him with the cookie, and the vision will allow them to be able to get the final blow onto Kuro. So a little bit of vengeance for what happened to qojqva earlier. Speaking of qojqva.
Miracle just, let's see what he's running. He's not going to be able to stop it. qojqva will be able to secure himself that water rune. I was a bit worried because I see the boots on the Pugna. You get 375 moon speed, 300 moon speed, tiny. Yeah, qojqva, the rune at least.
Yeah, they don't really have the best heroes to rotate around. Time Walk pulled back into his doom. What a combo from Nigma, and they're going to keep the chase up. They do not want to let iNSaNiA get the experience for this creep wave, and they'd love to have the extra kill as well. iNSaNiA, having no tangos to be able to juke his way around here, should be kind of stuck and slowly burnt out. Things going very well for Nigma in this Game 1 early laning phase.
Yep, even with that bottle, we saw GH takes the bottle from my control, grabs the bounty rune earlier. That's why they have so much mana up here to be able to apply that pressure onto the Void. Yeah, works out. Luna's still getting pressured. iLTW, he still is suffering quite a lot here, but some nice big moves from Nigma.
Do you think
for these kills
they can afford for the Luna to have the worst laning phase of their 3 cores rather? As we're probably going to see him go down again here. They're going to rely on the Inkswell stun to be able to get iLTW out of here. Boxi not going to go chase him down and let the Luna live for now.
I think they can, just because you can. I see here he put the second point in his Lunar Blessing, which might hurt that he didn't save the point for the Glaives, but he can just go Glaive build, and the team, right, the Nigma lineup, they can fight as four. They don't need the Luna in all these instances, and they can pick and choose their battles, right? Like Liquid, when they know Chronosphere's up, when they know Snapfire ult is up, when they know Kato offerings up, they're not going to just run into them as four. They got to, like, you know, just play smartly around that if the Luna's catching up. Yeah,
big difference from, say, the Faceless Void, who, you know, maybe top of CS, but he's also being pressured with having that depth. This is a hero that in some ways needs to have a good laning phase, right? Because you're way back into the game. You don't have that flash farming mechanism.
Yeah.
You have to, if you want to get back into the game, you have bad laning phase, you have to get good Chronospheres. You have to actually fight to get back in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He doesn't. He has excellent. They have excellent ways with that Chrono. Absolutely. They just have to be sure they get the right targets inside it. They have to catch Miracle for the most part inside that Chrono, like all game, or he's just gonna turn it quite quickly.
Well, we did say I heard the panel talk about the Decrepify, but it's a little different when you've got a huge amount of magic damage you throw inside the Chronosphere, right? Like, I'm not sure if Decrepify is a good idea when there's a Snapfire on the side. Snowball, that's going to stop Boxi's TP. He thought he was going to be home free with the Lucent Beam used, but iLTW, he's laughing because he knew there was a trap card in play here.
And he actually, okay, he puts the third point in the Blessing, so he just wants to have that high damage when they do rotate to his lane. I mean, if they're grouped up, that build is going to be that much stronger, right? Everybody's going to have that extra 25. And when I look at Nigma's draft, it is a lot about that, like, timing. They're going to hit a peak timing with, like, this mech on Darkseer with Pugna pushing, and Luna's just going to group up as 5. So you see why he's doing that.
And how do you, as Liquid, break that 5-man? Like, the obvious thing is, like, okay, get a good team fight in. But do you feel like they're going to get to a point where they can't fight? They just have to dodge and split push?
They're just gonna have to play really according to these cooldowns. It's like, and it's gonna be really dependent on how miCKe gets the setup, because he really is gonna be the majority of that setup. Since his, I mean, I wanted to say qojqva was struggling. qojqva's actually doing decent. Yeah. But it's gonna be a lot on, like, a lot of pressure on miCKe to just land that position. Land on, like, 2 or 3 heroes. And they have fun too. So we got tiny, like qojqva, he can cost the heroes. The Chrono as we used to see.
Yeah, that's true. 5-2, as you said. qojqva doing better than expected considering he got ganked and killed early on. Same goes with miCKe, who's actually top net worth right now, even though he did die early on. That is kind of what we were saying from the beginning, is that in comparison, miCKe's doing very well because iLTW was pressured so much in lane.
Speaking of this pressure, we see GH as well as KuroKy kind of setting up around mid. Taiga wants to slow down this tower push because mid tower, it's a blast and a half from death.
Oh, they really gonna go for this? I feel like if you use the Chrono early, that may just be Nigma straight up pushing down your towers with that cooldown up. But let's see, they're gonna try for it, and I feel like you've committed so much. The time walk back down. Cookie Hop gets on top of him, still hoping for a bash here, and he finally does get it, and they won't have to expend the Chronosphere. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Boxi in some trouble here, but oh, nice snowball. Great reaction there from GH as he gets out of the avalanche, but won't be able to get away from the toss of Boxi, and they're going to try and burst him down before he can get anything else off. Nigma are going to have to retreat here and probably going to lose Kuro on their way out. A Chronosphere is going to be used on the mid lane at the same time. Liquid may have a slower lineup here, but they're going to be keeping their fast pace, getting kills in all 3 lanes.
Great moves, great rotation. The whole team swinging over to get mind control actually causes them to be able to swing and catch Miracle in the mid lane. miCKe getting a heads up move with his Chrono, and that's pre-6 on Taiga. Now he'll have Mortimer kisses for the next fight too. Some really heads up moves coming out from Liquid, and qojqva should now be enabled to get a pretty damn good timing on this Blink Dagger off that.
Yeah, certainly. That being said, it did come at a trade-off, right? The reason Miracle is so far forward, he's taking that mid tower before 10 minutes.
Now he's gonna have a lot of options to be able to move around the map and just continue pressuring and getting that extra gold. You know, this tower gold, it does add up quite quickly when you are playing with this type of early centric draft with like Luna, Darkseer, Pugna pushing. We'll get some good timings on. It looks like it's gonna be actually a pipe first on the Darkseer.
Okay. You agree with that? The magic damage being the biggest threat in this game right now?
Yeah, just because they have decrep, right? Decrep
Yeah.
is going to be able to save
Top
versus
tower has fallen.
most of those others. And just tanking like the tiny combos. Like if everybody, I'm like clicking around looking at the heroes. Like who's got raindrops? Who's prepared for those tiny combos?
Yeah. All right, well, iLTW will certainly have a lot of space to work with all these early towers being taken. Let's see how well he recovers.
And it's just the 1 point in beam. It's just 1-3-3, so now he's got almost the max glaives. They're going to be giving him the majority of the safe farm on his side of the map wall. We see Miracle and miCKe both try to apply as much pressure as possible, especially now that Chrono's down. But they have to be wary. qojqva, he's got the blink. It's really early.
Yeah, it is, and they've already smoked up qojqva and Taiga. Two playmakers of the team. They're going to be able to find Miracle, get on top of him. They're going to make sure to use the Mortimer's Kisses. They want to take absolutely no chance that Miracle can get away. They want to make sure he dies.
And miCKe coverage that they have right now is perfect.
He had an Arcane Rune. miCKe, he knows that he's been totally caught. He just tries to throw it down the wall, but that's about as best as he can do here. GH is still looking for a fight because he has the Grimstroke behind him, but I feel like this is a little scary. All right, he will get away.
He's just shy. He's like 5 mana short of having the Avalanche as well through this Arcane Rune, almost getting them 3 kills consecutively. But ward coverage, you know, they see Miracle playing a little bit too far up. They see the Darkseer also isolated. And Boxi, he's living the dream during those moves. He actually just farms Ancients, farms the hard camp, and now he's got a blink too. So double blink initiators and a chrono. Liquid have hit quite a good timing here.
I actually feel like that's a very underrated and under-talked about skill, is the ability for a 5 position, whatever warder you have, to be able to read where the pressure is going to be able to come in. Okay, we're going to be losing our mid tower. We're going to be losing our top tower. Getting defensive vision down preemptively. And that does allow you to be able to find a kill like Miracle there.
And just being set up for it too. You know, just Taiga kind of chilling in the area, waiting for an opportunity. Liquid now. Or sorry, Nigma now, looking for an actual smoke rotation to try to slow down miCKe, because he's starting to get a bit too much farm. And he's getting all these kills, he's not getting pressured almost at all. Oh, big kill. If they can get it, the silence is going to go out. miCKe can't actually get rid of that silence because of the Decrepify, a nasty combo that we've seen a number of times before. And Nigma put it to good use here. I really love Grimstroke Pugna in just multiple different forms of combos too, right? The double decrep, double drain, the decrep plus that phantom's always fun.
Yeah.
As Nigma will get some pressure out, but Liquid, they're also going to probably be able to just take out the bottom tower in the meanwhile.
So that's going to be their first tower of the game. Net worth very even, 6-8. Nigma doing about, like, I don't know, you'd probably put this game 50-50, right? Like, Nigma is doing what they need to do, but the pressure is on them to take more and more map control.
Absolutely. I'd maybe give like a slight favor to Liquid, just because like these blinks are so early. Like some 13-minute blinks on both mid and the off laner. Your Faceless Void lane is doing quite well too. So maybe giving them the slight edge, as they do have that crazy scaling potential. Oh, missed out with the stun there. The TP is going to be coming in from the Tiny. GH is surely caught here. No way out for him. The damage that's going to be coming out, this minus armor is going to start. It's going to be ridiculous whenever they connect. The Solar Crest almost done for Taiga. Yeah, and I think one big point is if you, as Nigma, lose too many heroes in a row, they can actually take Roshan from you, and that is like a big momentum staller right there. If the enemy team that is the better late game picks up the Aegis, that's rough. Okay, and they actually get the pickup. Oh, they got him again. He gets there. Pull them back in. He's not getting away from the drain. The silence is there. They're going to throw out the golem, trying to interrupt things. They can maybe still win this fight. Soulbind latching on in. No, Boxi not able to stay on top of Miracle. He's actually getting some heals out. The double suck going off onto the golem there. I actually didn't know you could Soulbind onto the golem. I guess it's a hero unit, right? Yeah. I mean, he probably clicked the golem then, and it's attached to the other hero, right? Yeah. I guess that's the way he must have done it. And hey, I guess they can go for their own Roshan too. Tag team with Medallion. Those died pretty quick. I also want to point out GH has kidnapped miCKe's bottle the entire game so far. He never gave it to me. This is mine now. I thought maybe it would go the other way, that supports are going to be feeding Core's bottles, but apparently not. Are they going to make it in time? They have Chrono, and they have the Mortimer, but they won't be able to
little bit too slow. They do have miCKe here. They're going to try and get what pickoffs they can without using the Chronosphere. Mind Control is certainly stuck in the pit, and they will manage to get 2 kills. Looking for more now. qojqva and Boxi leading the charge with their Blink Daggers. Blink's the right position here. He'd actually find Kuro and Miracle, but he'd be pretty far ahead of his team. So Liquid are going to give up on that for now, and it's actually Nigma are going to try and get aggressive here. They're going to find the pick off on iNSaNiA in the back lines here. And Boxi, he's going to take that challenge. Mortimer Kiss is raining, and they're going to be able to bring down Miracle because the Aegis is on iLTW. So they're going to try and leave iLTW for last here. Bash Chronosphere actually going down. They're going to try and deal with the toss because, again, the extra life. The Cookie doesn't do anything, though. Inside the Chronosphere, the H1's going to stall up Boxi and miCKe. He's got to get out now. GH going to try and chase him. Boxi, okay, Taiga. He's doesn't have a TP, so there's no way out. He's just going to suicide into the tier 2.
They tried to turn because they got, you know, their Warlock got caught. They tried to go for this big fight, but Nigma, they've got a little bit too much. And iLTW, I believe he just ticks level 13 as that fight's going off when they get the kill. Gets the point in the Eclipse, so he's able to zone them away. Good. Heads up fight still coming out from both sides, but Liquid fighting into this unit. We're seeing that Lunar Blessing coming into play. We're seeing just that whole power of where Nigma is grouped up. Even into these big team fight spells of Liquid, they're somehow able to take.
And it's actually 2 different fights now that, like, a small little mechanical play. They've actually changed some of the Fate to Soulbind there on the previous team fight, and in this one that they could have definitely used an additional cookie stun on iLTW, but sadly.
I think he tried to cookie while he was in the chrono, right?
Yeah.
So the cookie doesn't work. So yeah,
yeah.
it's unfortunate for sure. He did have Aegis, so it's still they probably get cleaned up anyway. But yeah, small little things.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See if they are going to be able to take this tier 2 early. They're not. They're going to back up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Perfect item for Liquid's draft and style this game, the Philosopher's Stone. They're trying to take it to the later stages, get that Philly up on iNSaNiA or on Taiga.
Watch that replay again. We'll see the initiation from Boxi. They very easily blow up Miracle here, and that's all fine, well, and good. But iLTW, this is about the time he's pumping out some serious damage, and sadly, the cookie that comes in here not really doing anything for you, so iLTW is just able to get off the Eclipse, and that's kind of that.
Yeah, I do want to point out just the distance that Nigma can poke and prod from. Lucent Beam, they've got the Stroke of Fate, the Pugnablast, so many spells they can shoot from a distance. iNSaNiA trying to de-ward there for a moment. And yeah, KuroKy skill build this game. Since he has a ranged carry, even though he has Tusk, he only has the 1 point in Inkswell. He's got 4 points in Stroke for that range spam that they've been doing, and then the Phantom's Embrace is so efficient versus Void.
Yeah, I really like this. He's got the Decrepify. The Rend damage is really insane, especially the Decrepify when it goes off. So I do like this choice quite a bit from him.
Yeah, even the talent. Like if he chooses to take the DPS talent, it's like 780 damage when it's maxed out on Phantom. It's one of the higher burst damages in the game, but I don't think I've seen like anyone take it because the other one's just so value.
Yeah. So we have Liquid, they hit a timing, they got their Blink Daggers, they took, 1, maybe 2 okay fights, but now it feels like that timing's gone. And I'm presuming the next timing is BKBs. I mean, that Faceless Void feels like it needs one really badly.
Oh god, he's going for the SNY because he's probably just feeling like the leash and all this is going to be just devastating for him, even if he has BKB too. So now, easier forms of initiation for Nigma. Liquid still has a lot of ways to be able to get onto these targets, but now there's a save and an initiation for Nigma that's going to make it quite a lot harder.
Tried to vacuum him back in. Nigma, it's kind of that awkward position where you almost want to go high ground just to try and force people back, but it's also inherently very dangerous to even approach that area. So they're not going to go high ground. Liquid are going to be allowed to maintain their current positioning, which is cores farming up side lanes and generally trying to stay off map.
I think going high ground whenever you're versus Tiny is always quite scary. You get like one toss back, you have to make the decision. Do we help him or do we ditch him?
Look at this triangle vision. They had vision on their own triangle. Again, a great warding technique of just like knowing they're going to be pressuring their side of the map. They have to play side lanes and they have to try and farm somewhere else. Let's get some really nice defensive vision to be able to spot that. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually scale out on a kill here, but miCKe is going to be forced out of that position, rooted away to his side. Taiga, nice deny there on the DD with a little shredder.
Aegis does get reclaimed. Nigma does sweep them out of their triangle, so now miCKe has to farm in a more defensive position. And Nigma now can probably look to just like claim areas around their wards, just keep protecting their wards, just playing around those. While we do see Liquid just kind of playing in the dark. They only have what, that one ward down on the bottom right side, and I think the one in the river, which is soon expiring. So map is not the safest for them.
So I just did my own little in-person replay, and I watched Kuro, and he did actually click Soulbind on Boxi earlier, and it just automatically latched onto the golem. So
that's really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of times in where I've seen people like you click it on a hero and then you click it on an illusion and it latches to the hero, but golem, it's just full hero unit. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. 5-man smoke up from Liquid, and no Aegis on iLTW. They get the right chronosphere here. Maybe they can change. Unfortunately, it's fine. They're going to be able to get it immediately. The Mortar's Kisses are raining in. They're going to try and burst down iLTW as quick as possible. The Mortar's Kisses run out as the Toss was able to stall that out. iLTW, a little sliver of HP, and he finally does go down. Mind Control put him back into the wall, but he's certainly dead here unless he gets super lucky and jukes all this out. Into the trees he goes, hiding away, but qojqva, like a bloodhound, sniffs him out into the trees. 4 kills for Liquid off of that team fight.
Nigma caught with their pants down, not fully ready with that positioning there. They lose the Luna very early on. The Grimstroke gets popped by qojqva. Just a perfect wraparound. Liquid reading this scenario perfectly. That one ward that they had in the river actually kind of caused all that because they saw Nigma swimming up and getting that setup there, so they're able to get the wraparound. Now though, they did expend like everything, so now it's going to be up to Nigma to punish that themselves. And they're going to smoke immediately.
How far do you push this? Like, if you don't find the team fight, do you try and poke at a high ground, or what do you do? They're gonna find Taiga with the smoke. Not a core kill, so it's okay.
I think you're just swinging for kills with this trio, or maybe even with the 4 of them. You just swing for kills.
Okay.
And the Luna just deals with pushing out the lanes at the moment. Just keep looking to just claim any type of advantage. Claiming triangle is still a little bit scary, but if they're willing to try, they still have a good opportunity. Hey, it looks like they're actually gonna try.
Well, you called it. They smoked, found a kill. Smoke, go again. Boxi blinking into the river here is gonna be chased down, pulled back in by the vacuum as well. So, 1 pick off becomes 2. Nigma keeping up the pace here.
Yeah, qojqva just trying to shove the bottom lane as fast as possible so he can drive that attention from Team Nigma down there so that they can get more time to be able to have their chrono. They just want to buy time right now on Liquid to be able to take a better fight when they do have those spells up as GH. He's on the
He's gonna find him immediately. Walrus punches him, catches him. qojqva pops that haste rune. Now he may still be caught, especially since they've got the snowball to see where he's kind of going. Shards, can they block him in? Oh, barely misses out on that one. qojqva, I believe he's gonna be away, home free. Blinks, TP's out. Very nicely done by him. So it does create a little space.
Great space, but look, again, another smoke from Team Nigma. Like, they're just like, guys, Chrono and Chaotic offering down. Let's go, go, go.
Did they save all of their, like, how many times do you have 3 smokes available? I feel like they almost saved them intentionally for when these abilities were going to be on cooldown, as they're going to find Taiga once again.
Okay. Rosh in about a minute as well, so Liquid will have, all their ults are going to be up for that Rosh fight, but Nigma have effectively punished it. How many kills did they actually get there?
They got 3. They got 2 on Taiga, 1 on Boxi. They missed out on the qojqva kill, obviously. So
pretty good for them.
Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna pick up the shard pickup for iNSaNiA. See miCKe with the Scotty next item. I believe. Does Luna have her BKB?
She does. She's
okay.
Very farmed, almost level 18 too. miCKe has hit 18 though, so he's a little bit ahead on that front at least. And he does have protection. He does have Manta to at least cover him a little bit versus like the Phantoms and the Silences and the Decreps and all that will be annoying him a lot.
Okay,
Miracle,
so
he's gone all positions, right? Octarine to tank up and just how valuable the item is because it builds up from that Aether Lens and then Blink.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
And he's able to
Dire
go
are
back for a
scanning.
Glimmer Cape. We saw there the difference in the gold that they're getting from these bounty runes. Nigma, they're up by 5k. Half of that is purely coming from the fact that they have gotten a lot more bounty runes than Liquid, obviously from all that map control they've got.
Yep. Liquid now, BKB's up on Boxi, so he has a much easier time just getting into the backlines, which, you know, if we see Liquid
Radiant's
get the
top
hit,
tower
like hit
is
their
under
spells
attack.
properly, when they can get these opportunities to wrap around, they still have good shots in the fight. They just, it's a lot harder for them to actually get through this annoying Darkseer who runs right into the front most of the time.
Yeah, mind control is currently trying to do that exact job, just kind of like running interference, being on the front. Liquid, they're going to try and sneak on by here. They know they're coming, though. They're immediately going to get a stun off. miCKe's going to be silenced here. miCKe in a bit of trouble. He's going to pop the Manta, and it goes back for mind control while Boxi ended up going in. GH is trying to finish off Taiga here, but the heal is going to prevent that as he's going to be left on the river side of things, while Boxi, he's been creating a ton of space there. Everybody else was pushed away from this engagement. Even the buyback coming in from mind control because they know they really cannot afford to give up this Roshan.
miCKe just puts his body out there. He's like, all right, mind control wants to be a tanky boy. I'm way
Dire's
tankier
middle
as this
tower
boy.
is
2800
under
HP. It's also got the Nether Shawl. He runs in, gives so much information for his team, and they don't have to use any ults. So now for this next fight, they have that, and they know mind control does not have buyback. They catch this Darkseer. That will break most of the team fight that's coming out from Nigma, because he is so crucial to Nigma's team fight.
Yeah, pretty good play by miCKe, as you said, both of the positioning, and he seems to be holding on to the Chronosphere a lot. He is just not expending that very easily. I think the only time he's really been using it right was the Miracle Kill mid and then iLTW, those other times.
He's got his target priority for sure. Liquid.
If they can catch him, perhaps before he pops BKB, miCKe's going to be initiated on first. Snowball, chain stun pretty heavily to Mortimer's. Kiss is raining in, and he didn't get off the BKB. A hefty amount of damage coming in, but it's actually only about half HP. iLTW will turn now with the Eclipse. They've got to be able to get away from this magic damage raining in. Taiga may be left for dead, but miCKe's going to be okay for now. Now they go back in. Boxi with the BKB, salting the back line. They want Miracle, and they want him bad, but they decrepify, stalling things out. He is allowed to light drain, so they're going to go for iLTW instead. qojqva tossing Miracle enough in the air. He says enough of that, but Miracle's actually still alive. Essence Ring, another round to decrepify. He's trying to do it for as long as he can, but ultimately he's got no more backup left. He stays alive admirably for a very long time there, but Liquid, they easily trounce the rest of Nigma in that team fight.
And now, because they have Sparta, they actually lost nobody in this fight. They can go straight for Rosh. And actually, before doing that, they're actually going to hunt for mind control.
Oh yeah, they found him. qojqva. That was, I guess that lane ward right there on the left must have spotted mind control. So now they're going to be able to get, oh man, second Roshan is such a huge objective. Now that you also get the shard on top of that.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under
now,
attack.
like with the way that their heroes all work, like they scale quite hard, and Nigma's gonna start having a lot of problems now going forward.
Yeah.
Last fight kind of set everything for them. Even, you know, the Chrono lands, the Snapfire kisses land. Luna's still alive, but Liquid's able to reset, and then they have another round of big ultimates. The chaotic offering coming in, and qojqva the whole time, he sat on Miracle. He kept controlling him over and over again, and just toss avalanche, reset, come back, toss avalanche, reset. They didn't let Miracle really do much in the fights at all.
Do you agree with this choice? Them giving the shard to miCKe, so now he has the reverse time walk?
Sure.
Used to like
Saw
that?
yesterday too. You can do some fun juke plays. You know, you can dodge some spells.
Yeah. I feel like the cast range is actually what makes it legit.
That is absolutely fair. Yeah, 400 cast range definitely just makes it worthwhile as Chrono. I mean, it is everything. I forgot that it gave 400. I thought it was a lot less than that.
Yeah, dude, why is it 400 and it gives a second ability? I feel like Icebox's going insane with these shards for carries, man.
Yeah, that's actually quite crazy.
It's like,
here's the start on Boxi too, and his is really valuable too. So I mean, yeah, it's absolutely best one for Void.
He's like, go ahead, you've got a new ability. Oh, and minus 2 seconds cooldown. Or increase cast range as well. It's like,
or make it heal and strong dispel and do extra damage and do something.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
it definitely feels like these shards are no longer like this fun, like slightly optional thing, but they're very rapidly becoming core to some of these heroes.
Yeah, for some, for sure. But then there's other ones, like, you know, you look at Pugna's and you're like, in very rare situations, is this going to be valuable in comparison? And speaking of Pugna, Miracle.
Yeah, he's very far forward here.
That was crazy.
Kind of insane. miCKe.
He's got Chrono at the ready. He's looking for a hunt. Catch something.
Didn't quite see him. He almost has Scotty too, so I feel like in some ways it'd be nice for them to just chill out and fill that up. qojqva does have his Aghanim Scepter, so now the Tiny can pump some serious damage into the Chronosphere as well. We're going back to the point where you probably need a Decrepify to save those units from the tree volley that's going to be raining in. Boxi currently hunting with an Invis Rune.
Level 18 too, so we've got max Corrosive Haze that applies with his Slithering Crush.
Oh boy, that wasn't even a bash hit. That was just a regular one. That was like third of his hit HP. Oh no.
That was a quiver hit, right? So the quiver,
okay. Oh, that makes sense. I was like,
wait, what? I was like, that wasn't a bash.
That damage was insane. Boxi.
miCKe, he finds himself a Mindbreaker, but he's still.
Oh, they found iLTW. He's going to be forced to pop his BKB, but they've got a Solar Crest on Boxi, so he is swinging really fast. They're going to drop the Golem here for Boxi to try and get one more hit in to get that bash. iLTW away into the trees. There is an escape point out of this area, and he will manage to use that to barely get back to the base until no. miCKe's here with the Chronosphere. Oh, another Clipper Cape, and they're actually getting the Light Drain as well. Uh-oh, Liquid. It's going to be a little difficult until iLTW. Is he finally finished off? He is. The magic damage is there. Grimstroke's going to be swallowed up by the Boxi and the miCKe combo here. Miracle and GH are left to try and hold the base by themselves.
And Liquid's like, wait, we can't hit tier 3s. Oh yeah, tier 2s are still up. Oops, we're fighting. Great chase forward. Liquid really catching their stride this game, and pretty much all the team fights that they chose to take have been just quite successful, except for the one around the Aegis point where they jumped the Luna initially. But besides that, perfect connections pretty much from everybody, and qojqva having a really solid performance on the Tiny after a bit of a tough start of the lane.
And iLTW, kind of a rough game for him, mostly because Liquid is doing a good job hunting him down.
Yeah, they're always getting on the targets that they need to. They're always jumping onto these backline targets, and these double blinks and the Chronosphere and just that big coverage of Chaotic offering, it's enough for them.
Oh. I'm beginning to think, Fog, that Faceless Void, I mean, the way OG used it with amplifying him up with all that attack speed, now we're seeing Liquid amplified via Corrosive Haze. Like, it really seems like Faceless Void as just a right-clicking hero is really top tier right now.
Yeah, he's just back. You just have to be very cautious, and I think that's the biggest thing that I noticed from Liquid in the early game was just like holding the Chrono, right? Like you have to wait for the right opportunity, the perfect opportunity. Getting a single kill in this type of game, it's not going to work because you're playing versus such heavy group up. You need to wait for the perfect opportunities, and they really have done that. Like Nigma has just been constantly on the prowl, constantly on the hunt with these smokes, trying to punish and split up Liquid when they don't have cooldowns. But Liquid, for the most part, they've been cool as a cucumber, waiting for this to come back up. 40 seconds till Chrono. They're in their base.
Look how safe they are. Sitting around their tier 4s, iNSaNiA using chat wheel lines. Like, he's like, guys, we know you're 5-man smoking. We can smell a desperation get out of our base smoke. And we'll see if Liquid in turn are going to do something similar here, and who's going to end up winning out on the initiation fight, because it feels like that's the biggest thing, right? It's like whoever gets the right kind of initiation here, and it's mostly been Liquid. Jump straight up, see something, gets a little vision, backs away. Now iLTW outside of position here, already down to half health. They're going to use the shards to block the entrance off. Miracle will use his Blink Dagger. Time dilation on cooldown now. He's still going to go for it, though. The Chronosphere opportunity is here. Immediately gets stunned, actually pushed away by Miracle as well. From the crown, iLTW going to be targeted here with the Corrosive Haze on him. He's popped BKB. He has a Butterfly, but he is being shredded by this right-click damage. He can't even get off of the clips. He's just done for it. He doesn't have buyback either. Nigma. Oh, dear.
Disappears.
I mean, the Tiny and the Faceless Void are doing so much damage thanks to the Corrosive Haze. I'm beginning to wonder, like, why aren't more people picking Slardar like BSJ has been asking for?
I have to agree. It's looking really good, and Boxi is so comfortable with it. And they still have Chrono. They didn't actually even have to use it in the fight. miCKe just right-clicked.
Yeah. And this time, I mean, he's using the rewind really well. He keeps on getting vision. Now he's going to make the commitment here. Okay, iLTW's not buying back. You know, they're going to lose this fight and stuff, and they're probably going to give up their mid lane of barracks, but they can hold on if they want to and see if Liquid wants to hit some tier 4s or something like that.
I think they've fully lost their stride in this game. Liquid just have cruised in these last few, like 3-4 team fights in a row. miCKe just, he's too tanky. He's too big. The fact that your Void can just time walk in over and over again like this and you can't punish it just says everything. It's a 4,000 health Void with a cheese.
Yeah, I like his build too. It's a very tanky build, right? He built Manta to help deal with the Phantom's Embrace and the Decrepify. Just a value Sange to be able to deal with you know, various stuns, nice status resistance, and now a Scotty. So 1,000 HP almost. Yeah, it looked a little scary, right? Because he went Maelstrom and then he went like Sange and he got killed like twice, and they went SNY. But then when he disassembles, it all starts to make a lot of sense. This is some good stuff from Liquid, just being able to take this fight. Nigma, now this was a very timing-based lineup that they wanted to get an advantage and keep pressing that advantage, but Liquid didn't really ever allow that to happen. I think the highest it ever went was what, 5K gold lead? I don't think the experience ever even went into Nigma's favor. So yeah, Liquid taking all these heads-up fights, and it's around that vision, right? Like I noticed like a few times they did have vision where they got these big wraparounds was huge for them. Yeah, certainly. It also feels like Luna's just, am I wrong in saying, I feel like she's pretty hard countered by just having these, like corrosive haze makes it so, like her one idea is like, okay, she at least has a lot of agility, even if her HP pool is squishy. But then like that all gets taken away, so she's being shredded by physical damage. Yeah,
still feels like the same, you know, the same problems that Luna's always had, at least from what we're seeing in this game, right? You're kind of fragile. You're this carry hero that if you get collapsed on, which it's gonna happen, you're gonna get collapsed on, especially from this trap. You kind of still just die. You have to be playing at such a far advantage. It feels. Luna, I don't even know if he was actually ahead of Void almost at all this game, right? He was actually like neck and neck. miCKe kept up with him in farm.
Yeah, it helped that miCKe was able to exit the laning phase top net worth, and then he didn't really get picked off a whole lot. Okay, Telescope, Spell Prism. Those are two different nice items for Miracle.
Not bad.
Everyone's on their toes with miCKe around, man. He keeps on jumping in, and they're like, "Oh, is this the time? Is he gonna go for the Chronosphere?" He's got it up now. It's finally off cooldown.
So what's our war duration? Now it's the Spell Prism and the
iLTW, you gotta be careful. That butterfly doesn't protect you against those tree hits. The Decrepify for a moment, but look at this, that damage. The Fatal Bonds set up off of a nice Chronosphere. iNSaNiA collects 3 of the kills, and miCKe will get the other 2. The friendship duo that has gone through the test of time from Heroes to New Worth to now Dota 2 stays strong. Look at those 2 lads as they're able to finish off the game in pretty nice style. Liquid taking game 1 against Nigma.
I like how they started